I grew up in Frederick, Maryland. It's a really, well, at the time it was a really small town, about an hour north of Washington, D.C. My parents moved there to get away from their parents, from Silver Spring and Potomac, Maryland, and there weren't that many Jews. Are there any Jews in this room by any chance? One! That's how I grew up. It was a very small town, more stoplights than Jews, they used to say. And so my parents really wanted me to have Jewish friends. Maybe what? Did my mic still on?
Oh no, it's the butt.
What did I touch? Hello? Is this better? Sorry. Okay. So they really wanted me to have Jewish friends, possibly a Jewish boyfriend, maybe a Jewish husband. So young, they sent me to Jewish camp, which if you know any Jews, you know we all go to camp, at one camp or another. The one I happen to live near was called Camp Louise, and it had a brother camp, Camp Airy. So my synagogue had a couple, like 5 other couples. They were all friends. They called themselves the Jew crew. And, long nails, blitzed out shirts, big hair. It was the 80s. That's how they rolled. And so they all had boys. Me and my sister were the only girls. So we went to Camp Louise. All the boys went to Airy. And for the first 5 years, being from Frederick, I wasn't quite as advanced as the other girls who were from D.C., Baltimore, whatever. So they lived in bigger houses, had all the name brands. My mother didn't believe in name brands. Sounds like a hick with a big fro and nerdy glasses. They were all getting their hair frosted and everything. I wasn't allowed to do any of that. So I stuck out, as you can imagine. And for the first 5 years, I was tortured and I hated it. I didn't want to go back. Please don't make me go back. I hate it there. Please don't make me go back. And they were like, no, you have to go back because we go to Club Med when you're gone. So you're up a creek, basically. Sorry. So I was like, all right, I'm giving it one more year, and that is it. And by this time, I was 14. So I started when I was, young. By this time, I was 14, 15. So I got contact lenses. My hair had grown a little bit. I had some boobs. Few boobs. Not a lot, but a little. And one of the first weeks I was there, I saw an audition to be in a play. And I could sing a little. It was a play at Camp Airy. And I thought, aha, the boys. I had friends over there already, and my cousin went there. So I was like, perfect. So I'll just audition for the play. I don't have to hang out with these bitches anymore. And it was the perfect plan. So the first year I was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And the deal was, you got up, you had breakfast with your bunk, and then you would take a minivan from the girls' camp to the boys' camp. You'd have rehearsal, then you'd have lunch, and you'd have rehearsal, and then you could have some swim time, and you have some, as the play would get closer, you'd have dinner, and then you go home. Earlier in the month, you just went home after, rehearsal, whatever. So the second year I went, so now I'm 16. So I figured out my plan, and I decided to go back. I was in Guys and Dolls with a bunch of my friends. So my friends, my other girl, the 2 friends I made, figured out my plan, and we're like, we're in. This is perfect. So I had a little gaggle of friends the second year. We were in Guys and Dolls together. And I would go over with my friends. We'd have, rehearsal, then lunch. And then, that summer was really hot. I don't remember. It was so hot we couldn't rehearse because everything's out, it's camp. So there's no air conditioning for children. They don't believe in that. So it was really hot. So they allowed us to have swim time. And so we had 2 activity periods of swim time. So the first activity, it's 5 girls and the younger half of camp. So we're playing with the little kids, my cousin's there, and we're like, yeah, you're so cute and wonderful. And then the boys have to get out and go to their next activity, and the older camp came in. So everyone has to get out of the pool. So even though we're staying for the second hour of activity, we have to get out of the pool. So being the arrogant. And this warning sign, by the way, is the one that I did not have. Never had a warning sign. For this to happen, that's what this story is about. So everyone's out of the pool. The girls decide they're going to sit on the side of the pool while the younger half files out of the bleachers surrounding the pool. So here's the pool. We got bleachers. We got boy I have a crush on here and boy I have a crush on here because they're 2 lifeguards. Right? Who wouldn't? They're adorable and tan. So, and Jewish, every mother's dream. So the boys file out, the boys and the older boys follow back in. Now this is every boy that's friends with, their parents are friends with my parents, so it's like all 5 boys, their brothers, their whole bunk, everybody. And there's 3 diving boards. And so, of course, being a 16-year-old, I'm going to preen a little. I'm wearing a bikini, which I can't do now. And I'm sitting on the diving board like this, with my feet out like this. And I'm just like, showing off best I can, right? And I have an itch, like a weird itch, and I reach back. And my bikini top flies into the water. Nobody in the pool. Everybody in the bleachers right next to me. So I scream, of course, "Oh my God!" And my friend has to dive into the water, retrieve my bathing suit as another one covers me up so nobody can see. And the whole older half of camp, this is like 300 boys from ages 14 to 17. I've just exposed myself to. And they're like, "Do it again, it's like the rest of the camp." And then, they're covering me up. The other girls cover me up. She dives in. I put my bathing suit on, and no one's the wiser. Later on, I'm getting high fives from people for doing that. And so, there's not really a moral of the story, except maybe not to be so arrogant about your body, lest you expose it to everyone you've ever met. So, the end.
Thanks, Jeff.